Chapter 1, Mishnah 2. This Mishnah gives a long list of circumstances that invalidate Kamitza as well as the other avodos. It begins with a list of people who invalidate it because they are not eligible to do Kamitza. A mincha offering, whether it is a sinner's mincha or any of the other Menachos. If a non-Kohen made the Kamitza, or it was done by a Kohen who is an onen, a mourner on the day his relative died, or by a Kohen who is a tevel yom and therefore not yet fully tahor, or by a Kohen who lacks, i.e. is not wearing the clothing required for a Kohen during the Avodah, or who lacks, i.e. has not brought the atonement korbanos he needs to bring for certain kinds of tumah, or by a Kohen whose hands and feet were not washed before doing the Avodah, or by a Kohen who is uncircumcised, or who is tameh, or by a Kohen who is sitting while he does the Avodah, or who is standing on top of utensils and not directly on the floor while he is doing this avodah, or who is standing on an animal or on the feet of his friend. In each of these cases, the Kohen was not fit to do the avodah, and he therefore invalidated the mincha by doing it. Another disqualification. If a Kohen made the kamitza with his left hand, he invalidated the mincha. However, Ben Beseira says he should return the kometz to the kli sheretz from which it was taken, and then make kamitza again with his right hand. According to Ben Beseira, since kamitza must be done with the right hand, a Kohen who did it with his left hand did nothing. Therefore, he can put back the kometz he removed and start over again. The Mishnah now discusses invalidations that are a result of the kometz itself. If someone made kamitza and a pebble came up in his hand together with the flour, or a grain of salt, or a grain of lavona, he has made it invalid, because they said a kometz that has too much flour or too little flour in it is invalid. When a pebble or grain of lavona or salt takes up part of the space between his fingers and his palm, the kometz has too little flour in it, and the kamitza is therefore invalid. The Mishnah now defines what is too much and too little in the case of a kometz. What is an example of a kometz that has too much flour? Where the Kohen took a heaped kometz, with some of the flour extending out past the 3 fingers that form the kometz. And what is an example of a kometz that has too little flour? Where he made the kamitza with just the tips of his fingers, instead of spreading his fingers over the palm of his hand. The Mishnah explains how kamitza should be done. How does the Kohen perform kamitza in the proper manner? He extends his 3 middle fingers over the palm of his hand to form a space, and he then pushes his hand into the flour with the edge of the hand facing down to force flour into the space.